New Thought Media Network proudly presents Having Courageous Conversations, where real talk dives deep. Each week we go beyond surface talk. We open our hearts, speak our truths, and dive into the stories that shape us. No scripts, no filters, just powerful, unforgettable conversations about life, purpose, healing, and truth. Join the conversation, because your voice belongs here. Please like, share, and subscribe. Check out our YouTube channel at Having Courageous Conversations or email us at yourshowyourvoice@gmail.com. Now, let's have a courageous conversation.
The views and opinions of our guest and hosts do not necessarily reflect those of New Thought Media Network, or any organization we may be affiliated with. Here at New Thought Media Network, we welcome freedom of speech and courageous conversations. There are many topics that can be difficult to navigate. Challenging the status quo and engaging in lively debate is important to expanding our understanding of one another, and life in general. Creating a peaceful world doesn't happen because no one disagrees, it happens from a willingness to understanding one another. In our programming we strive to expand consciousness and assist people in creating remarkable lives. Your comments are welcome at info@ntmedia.org.
Hello and welcome. We're so happy you're joining us, whether you're watching us live right now or catching the replay later. Thank you for making the time to be here. This is Having Courageous Conversations, a heartfelt, spirit-led online series where we explore the transformative power of honest dialogue. We believe that when we speak from the heart, listen with compassion, and hold space for one another, we create possibilities for healing, growth, and real connection. I'm Cheryl Rogers, and it's my joy to be here with you. And joining me is my wonderful co-host, Mark Dupuy, and together we're honored to guide these powerful conversations.
Thank you, Cheryl. And it's my pleasure to introduce our host today. I'm a host today, our guest today, and she's going to talk to us about how developing your mediumship can deepen your enlightenment. Let me tell you a little bit about Severine. Severine discovered her mediumship at 15. Wow. When her late grandpa came to talk to her. She quickly connected with her spirit guides, calling them my angels. More recently, in a meditation, they revealed their collective name as Arkana, meaning the collection of hidden, mysterious knowledge. Like a spiritual compass, her connection to spirits and guides has offered her wisdom about life and the afterlife, while providing guidance, encouragement, and the courage to take the next steps with confidence. She accepted her calling to become a medium and a spiritual mentor a few years ago. I think we'll hear a little bit more about that, Severine, in a minute.
Thank you, Mom.
So you're welcome. And so my question to you is, I don't know, skeptic is kind of harder than I intend it to be, but I'm someone that is open to hearing what you have to say, because I've encountered some who believe that I know you do psychic readings as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I have that all connected in my head, in my understanding, and I'm looking forward to you teasing that part out. And anyway, I'm going to stop right now because more questions will come up. And welcome.
Thank you so much for both of you for the invitation to join you.
Welcome. And just so you know, I'm not a skeptic. I love this kind of stuff, always have. yeah, my father and my mother actually used to have spiritual circles, I think you call it, like medium circles when I was young. And the spirits used to come through, and I even heard tapes of them, which were quite interesting. So I'm excited.
That's great.
I'm excited too.
That's great. You're both on the spectrum of, the believer and skeptical, and everything is normal and everything is totally respected. So every level of acceptance and maybe consciousness on mediumship will find, I think and I hope, healing and guidance in the development of that mediumship.
Yeah, but what I love about Marg and I working together is we balance each other out. So she will ask real clear questions that I wouldn't, because of, not even thinking about them. And then it's like, oh yeah, that's a really good question.
Exactly. Like there's a lot of enrichment to get from someone who doesn't take things for granted. So thank you both of you for being here.
Thank you for saying yes. So just tell us a little bit more about the work that you're doing.
So I'm a psychic medium and also a mediumship development mentor. I have students. Some are very beginners. Some are already just like me, developing a bit more in depth their mediumship. And I help them to go to the level they want to grow to. Some are just, I want to understand what is this thing that I have been feeling or seeing. And some are really need technical information about how to give a proper reading, how to reach your goal in a reading. So it's a spectrum of students that I work with.
Wonderful. So is there any difference between mediumship and psychic?
Yes. Everybody will tell you yes. I'm going to explain you how. And for me, it's so subtle. But what you have to know is that you need to know the source of your information, whether it comes from a psychic information or more mediumship, because the sender of the information will impact differently the person who hears the message. I'm going to give you an example. So I'm going to explain to you first the difference, and then I'm going to give you an example. So psychic reading is basically reading each other's energy. I know that at Unity, you believe that we are all connected through this oneness, this unity. And we have this network of souls on Earth that are vibrating. I will use this word a bit lightly, but I hope you understand, at the same level, because we're all living in the same dimension. I'm going to call it dimension, okay? Same world. So it's easy for you and me to read each other as long as we accept this connection. And we don't know, but we have so many information coming from me to you at any time and any point of time. And by focusing and centering on yourself and connecting to this part inside of you that is connected to others, you can receive information about them, about how they feel now. And you will also see how their soul, their vibration is more likely to go. So this is how we sometimes receive also future information about a possible future, because we see that their energy is more likely to say yes or no to a career opportunity. And this is how psychic can read also the future. So imagine the same network of soul, but in a higher realm. That would be the spirit world. And they're all connected, and they're also connected to us. But they're all vibrating at their own level, and we're vibrating at us.
Yeah.
So when I want to connect to the spirit world, I'm going to have to raise my vibration to reach them. And it's very likely that they're going to bring their vibration to mine, so that we meet halfway and together we exchange information. So what I wanted to tell you is that I really respect both. And when I started, I have to say I was a bit snob and like mediumship is above everything. But I realized that there's as much healing and guidance in a psychic reading that there is in mediumship reading. Let's say you have. I give this example a lot, so I know it. So let's say your father gave you his apartment after his death, and you feel the need to sell it because you feel like you need the money, but you knew he liked his apartment. As the psychic medium, I can tell you, well, you're going to sell the apartment. I see it because I know that the intention is going to take action, and I see it's going to happen. Okay. But if I tell you your father's here, he's telling me, go ahead, sell the apartment. You need it more. You need the money more. Then the place is going to be different healing, a different emotion triggering. Okay. So that's why it's very important to know who you're talking with. Because the message will not impact the same way.
When in your bio, it said that you first discovered your mediumship at 15, and it sounds like it was your grandfather that came to you, or what did that look like? What did you hear? Or
it at the time I was not really spiritual. I was raised by agnostic. We are Catholics just for the weddings and the baptism, but we don't practice at all outside of that. And it was around my grandfather's first death anniversary, and I was about to do my homework, so I had a pen in my hand and notebook in front of me. I started to think about him, and I started to feel very sad and very lonely, and the separation, not seeing him for a while. Suddenly, the ambience in the room totally changed. It was heavy, like 50 people were with me. And with me, it happened first through what we call automatic writing. So I couldn't move, except my eyeballs. I couldn't move, but my hands started to write under someone else's influence, like someone was moving my hand. And this is how it started. At first, I find it, and still today, I find it super cool and super exciting. You would tell me things I didn't know that I could validate later. And I really loved having this one-on-one conversation with my grandfather, maybe on a daily or every other day basis. And eventually, these words, before being written on the paper, I could see them in my head, and eventually I could even hear his thoughts. So I have a telepathic conversation with my grandfather. So I didn't need to write. So at some point I stopped the writing, and I moved on with the telepathy. And this is where my guides came and introduced themselves to me.
Wow.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Were you afraid at first?
Never. I'm going to tell you, I had experience that took me to places of fear, but I want to show you what it looks like. I found a paper of one of my writing with my grandfather. So it's an old paper, and as it's the only one I have about our conversation, I share it. So the fear. So when you have to know that when you communicate with the spirit world, you have a little taste of how it is over there. You feel the unconditional love. You feel the joy, the unity. You're not alone anymore. You don't feel this individuality that we are strongly inside. We live it strongly here. But when I started to come out as a medium, I call it coming out, because it's really like telling about big part of your identity. People sent to me their fears, and they said, be careful, you're going to talk to the devil and you're going to be haunted, or oh my God, you start losing it, you're going to end up in an asylum. So their fear that I resonated with, that I said, okay, they must be right. This is what really started to make me question everything. And but eventually I found out that trusting this connection takes you to better places.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Oh my goodness. So tell us some exciting stories that may have taken place. There is one question though, before I go there. Do you speak? Do your guides and these energies speak through you?
Yeah, so I've developed a communication with my guides for more than 20 years now.
Yeah.
And we communicate through, it could be subtle messages, and this is accessible to everyone. You want to be to a nice pat in the back to go in direction, they can give it to you. Or you want, but for me, it works also through downloads. It's like a lot of new information that are downloaded in you.
Yeah.
You go, wow, I need to write it down, and it's so you need days to digest that.
Right.
There's two ways of communication. I have to tell you, like, anybody can talk to their guides, and this is the first thing I really want every person who is on their spiritual path to understand. When you're questioning this reality, this is not it. There's something greater. When you're introspecting yourself, finding love and maybe a community that which you can resonate with, you can also find inside of you someone that is even greater than you think. And at that point, you may be stuck into, okay, I am part of this greater adventure, let's say. And mediumship will give you not only confirmation that everything you know about this, like the reason of our why we're here and the goals and what is the keys, but you're gonna have also, you're gonna experience it. You're gonna experience the unconditional love.
Yeah.
You're gonna experience, as I said before, this belonging to this great network of unity.
Well, I think once you experience that, you become, you embody it so that you're at a level of knowing rather than believing.
Exactly. And there is also information that you cannot reach with introspection. Or you cannot find in a book about it. It is an experience. It is talking to people you've never met before and tell you things that are under your eyes, healing your client. This is the confirmation that we're here for a bigger reason than, live, eat, reproduce, and die. There is a purpose behind it, and it gives you some keys about how to live with this human journey with more grace, I would say.
Yeah. Gives you a better understanding of it all.
Yes.
Okay. So can you tell us some of those things that they told you? Like, why are we here?
You know what? That was my first question. When I had my guides come to me and they started to sound and feel so wise, I was like, why are we here? Am I on a mission? Am I special? And they said, you are not special. You don't have a mission because you can talk to us. This is something that is innate to all of us, just as walking is innate to all of us. Not all of us are going to run marathon, because you need to have the interest and you need to have also the passion for that. And this is what mediums are, to connecting to your inner spirit. What was the question? Sorry.
The reason that we're here, that we are
yes. I was beating about the bush. No, so they told me, and I was 15. You have to understand, I was 15. They told me, we're here to raise our vibration. At 15, I had no idea what it meant, but today I'm more conscious of what vibration means in this world, in the other world. I understand that we have a path on Earth, and it's just one part of the whole journey of the soul, and that before we come here on Earth with a goal, this goal no matter what it is, it will
Mhm.
all take us to raising our vibration on the other side, getting closer to the source, whatever you call it, the universe, bringing information and experience that are going to enrich not only your soul, but the collective of
Yeah.
soul.
Yeah, beautiful. And your friend Tammy's here, and she's greeting you. She's so glad to see you.
Hello, TV. Thank you for being here.
She says you're an amazing mentor, psychic, and medium.
Thank you very much. It means a lot for me. You know that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So you're saying that everybody has the ability for this connection.
Yes. I'm going to.
That's okay. Go ahead.
I'm going to develop on that.
Pardon
I know
me?
that it's maybe a bit hard to hear that, because first of all, in this world, we let people think that mediums are special and they only have the gift.
Yeah.
But it's not true. I had some skeptical students that said, oh, look, I've been trying, I want to do that, I want to try it. I've been trying for almost a year, nothing happened in a year. And with my mentorship, after 6 sessions, he was able to give a good reading with names, with a location, and he was himself surprised. And only what it didn't take him to become the next Gandhi, you know. He just tweaked his daily routine.
Yeah.
And I'm sure this is what you talk about in your groups when you talk about how to grow spiritually. You know, how do you see opportunities of happiness? How do you express your gratitude? So I took those little their routine, into seeing that more. And when you see that, you leave them. I'm going to give you a simple example. Let's say, what makes me happy? Listening to Christmas songs. Okay, even in June, I don't care. I will put a Christmas song, and bim, I'm triggered, and I sing and I live it. And at night, so I really live it. I'm happy, like nobody's watching. Okay. At night, I go to bed and I say thank you for my day, and I recollect all the events that allow me to be happy, be joyful, be peaceful, everything that makes you feel good. And I live it again. As I say, thank you for allowing me to play hide and seek with my kids, to take 5 minutes out of the crisis of dinner and homework and all, and say yes to them asking me to play hide and seek. Because at that moment, I was a child again. I was excited. I was laughing. My kids were looking at me as peers rather than someone who has to take care of them. I think, and I live this moment all over again. And what I'm sending to the universe, I want more of that.
Yes.
The day after, I'm gonna be lighter and lighter, because I recognize all the moments that can raise my vibration. Do you hear what I'm saying here?
Yes.
That's beautiful.
Yes, absolutely.
And raising your vibration doesn't mean to be out of this world. It just mean vibrations are emotions. Take the vibration that takes you to the highest happiness.
Right. Exactly.
And just some people would be peace. I want to be peace. I want to read a book. When I read a book and I stop, I'm like, I'm peaceful. I'm happy. This is the emotion you should, or one of them that you should trigger as much as possible.
Yeah.
What I tell them again, because this would allow you to receive more messages, because you're less in your head, less, in the 9 to 5, in the routine, and in the do, plan ahead, and you live in the present, because I lived in the present. And as you do that, you are more in the present. You can receive more. You can accept more signs from your loved ones in spirit, or your guides, or anybody on the other side. I have to say, signs are the second thing you can do to accepting signs, to be closer to to your loved ones in spirit and receive wisdom, guidance, and obviously healing too. What I suggest, and that's very simple too, it's when you find something that is out, that catches your eyes because it's unfamiliar, and you go and tell me, but there are so many things. I would say, if you do the exercise and be like, that's funny. I thought of my mom and she just called me. This is synchronicities. I keep seeing 11:11. Or my father's birthday, I keep seeing these numbers. Then give yourself a week. This week I'm going to accept every little sign, anything that catches my attention because it's so out of the ordinary. This is unfamiliar. Let's say unfamiliar. Just okay. I'm gonna take that as a sign. Next time you see again 11:11, you just pause, center yourself, like breathe, connect to your breath, and now connect to your sensation. I sense a lot the presence of spirit. You could maybe suddenly see in your head pop the face of your mom, or you could feel someone touching your shoulders. Anything. You have a sign. Acknowledge, okay, you're here. Who are you? And you will feel normally the identity. If there is no identity, but still a personality, you may be in presence of a guide. If you see someone very, very wise, or they can have also like a funny identity. They can be very actually funny. They can be very goofy because this is what you need, for example, with you. And then you say, the next level is like, okay, guys, thank you for being here. I feel you. Like I can tell how far they are from me when I connect, where they're located in the room. What I would do also is like, okay, you didn't come here just to say hi. What's your message? And you can receive. And if you connect to the thing that connects you to them, so the light, the big ball of light inside of you, you can call it your soul, your inner connection, and you may receive just a big loving energy. Okay, wow, you're here to make me feel that I'm loved. I'm not forgotten. Or you can hear a real message like keep going. It could be keep going. We are behind you, and it will come to you so easily that you won't believe it first. I'm like, I'm making it up. I'm just telling you, take 1 week where everything a little bit magical, you believe it, and accept everything that comes. Because the more you accept their sign and their presence, and the more it's going to be not only easy to recognize and receive the message, but the more they're going to say, okay, she gets me when I do that, when I center coins on the floor, feathers, anything, goes. These are the most common signs we can hear, but anything goes. Anything that catches your eyes and is unfamiliar.
We're going to have to come back because it's time for us to pause for a short break. Severine, I can listen to you for hours. So much of what you are saying, for me, resonates with Unity, with Unity Kitchener especially. Our mission is to expand consciousness and empower lives. And part of what you're talking about, I think, is that it's raising our vibration. And how do we do that? We say affirmations, but we have to have feeling. You have to have emotion behind it in order to create your reality. So stay with us because there's so much more on this powerful conversation to come, and we'll be back shortly.
Great. See you soon.
The affiliated New Thought Network is pleased to present Deep Within, Mining Our Hidden Treasures, a hybrid spiritual retreat, October 6th through the 10th at Unity Village in Lee's Summit, Missouri, featuring our opening keynote address from Reverend Michelle Ezigwu. Our Tuesday evening Raise the Roof experience with Reverend Dr. Martha Creek. Special musical artist Ricky Byers. Wednesday features a morning keynote with Centers for Spiritual Living spiritual leader, Reverend Dr. Sunny Cantrell Smith, and evening keynotes from Reverend Dr. Robert Brzezinski and Reverend Tanya Beverly. Reverend Dr. Janine Burns rounds out our keynote speakers on Thursday morning. Visit www.antn.org for more details. Virtual and in-person registration is now available. We would love to see you there. ANTN, connecting the New Thought community through consciousness and love.
Please help us say thank you to our organizational sponsors, including the Hepperlin Foundation, Affiliated New Thought Network, International New Thought Alliance, Science of Mind Archives and Library Foundation, Center for Spiritual Living Denver, Center for Spiritual Living Midtown, New Thought Philadelphia, Planned Happiness Institute, Summit Center for Spiritual Living, One Heart Retreats, Center for Spiritual Living on the Lake, Unity Spiritual Center, Kitchener, Om Center for Spiritual Living, La Mesa, Satya Center, Center for Spiritual Living, North Jersey, Unity of Savannah, and Center for Spiritual Living, Seattle, as well as all of our individual donors. Thank you for making New Thought Media Network a place to be. Please come be you. And remember, like, share, and subscribe. New Thought Media Network, positively inspiring.
Welcome back. Go,
Wow,
Mom.
this has been amazing. You have my attention. You have my some of the things that you have said. I've had goosebumps, and so they certainly have touched me. You said something about you may discover someone, and I believe you were talking about ourselves. Like when you go in, you might discover someone. Yes. And the feeling part, like I feel a lot, but I don't take time to feel it. And so I don't mean in what you're talking about. I'm talking about feeling. So I'm in a situation, I'm sad, I'm mad, I'm whatever. I stay there for just a minute. And then it's like, okay, how do I fix it? What's the next step? So I don't stay in the feeling of it for very long. So what you're saying to me, what I'm taking is feel more, which may be the reason why when I've gone for a reading, for instance, nobody can get in. Nobody gets in, and nothing makes sense, like anything that's been said. Whereas I've seen, like, my partner will have things said to her that nobody could know other than herself. So thank you for what you're saying.
You're welcome. And when I say about feeling, like when they're trying to communicate with you. They will communicate through different senses, the mediumistic senses. So you have the clairvoyance, and we see through our minds mostly, but you can also sometimes see with your eyes. I have splashes of silhouette. I can see for a split of a second the silhouette of someone, and I know if they are tall. If there are two people, I can see how the height difference. I can see if they're fat, lean. So this is the senses, and you have the clear. There are the clear audience, clear smell, and clear gusting. Clear gustance. The next is the clear sentience. So it's like the capacity to feel spirit or someone else's in a psychic reading feeling. So when you were talking about, I don't accept myself, the feeling, I'm like, oh, I need to fix that. It's slightly different. What I say, let's say, you feel the presence of someone, or you see the signs of someone else. You accept that they send you anything, and they can send you love because you need to feel loved right now. This is what you're talking about. Is very interesting, because that was the second part of my speech here. I wanted to let everybody know that mediumship, developing mediumship, is going to force you to be a clean channeler, a clear channeler. So what does it mean? It means all the little, I call them cracks in your soul, cannot come and color or give any flavors to the reading you're going to give to someone. This is why they're going to take you to places to heal your inside. So if you have emotions you don't want to feel, they're going to create a situation where you're going to be forced to, okay, I got to stop now, and I got to feel, express, understand this feeling, because spirit would not let you provide healing to someone if you're suffering yourself. Or if you have, I'm going to give you an example that is ridiculous, because I was a medium and I was scared of spirit. So I would give a reading feeling like so attuned and so like happy and in harmony with spirit. But then I would be like smirching and cleansing and praying and da da da. And then I was like, doesn't make sense. I cannot. So I asked my guides, but you can do that just through introspection. Where is this fear, this need of protection coming? And I understood it when I came out for the first time. Remember, I told you that people were like, be careful, you're going to be with the devil and you're going to turn crazy. I absorbed this fear and I didn't fix it. I was like, okay, next, as you said, let's go. I don't care. I don't believe them, but I had absorbed this fear. So I had to make the work to clean this fear of spirit. And it can be instant after a few, introspection, meditation, but it can also take some time. And in this world, that's why we have a lot of healers. And if ever it's hard for you to fix something that is bothering you, an emotion, a thought that is bothering you, then I would really advise you to see an energy healer. Also, as you're here and you're doing your own mental health, and it's not only mental health, it's a lot of emotion. Understand what you brought with you, your baggage. What are your baggages? And you think live with that and move on and keep them in the drawer in the back. Then, if you go through mediumship, you want to clearly understand what spirit tells you. You're gonna have to be sure to work on yourself. And I think that you can be as spiritual as you want and still closing your eyes on very important hurt. I would call them hurt.
Yeah.
As soon as you're like, I want to go, I want to be of service, then spirit is going to take you to the places that's going to bring you to the highest highs and sometimes the lowest lows, but it's always for the greater good.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah. And I think, sometimes when people hear raising our vibration, it sounds like Greek or it sounds woo-woo or whatever, But really what it is doing, that emotion, that feeling of joy, of happiness, of opening your heart, that is how you raise your vibration.
Exactly, is resonating with the vibration of love, joy, happiness, peace, whatever is like when you vibrate at the same frequency,
Right.
it resonates and you feel like you're aligned with this emotion.
Yeah.
And keeping the emotion keeping your vibration resonating with emotion that makes you feel good are going to keep the connection. And I'm sure because you in Unity, you are very spiritual already, and all the work you do at Unity, I'm sure you receive a lot of guidance and intuitive information that you don't even realize. You don't realize why suddenly you said, I gotta go and go to the supermarket, and there you meet a friend you haven't met for long time, or you have this because you do the work of keeping your vibration high.
Yeah. So what I want people to understand is that anger, sadness, all those emotions and feelings lower our vibration.
Yes.
Right? Anger, I can't think of the other emotions, but there's a whole slew of them that can take us down. And so that's also part of being human, to acknowledge that and to be aware that you have a choice and you can change that.
Exactly. I'm going to tell you the same thing. When you experience anger and you feel good when you give it to it, give it to your anger, but afterward you're like, I don't resonate with that. I'm not in harmony with this emotion. This is not me. This is where you realize that you bigger than that. You're feeling in harmony with higher vibrations. So as you said, every emotion is important because experience jealousy, anger, whatever. Okay, you need an experience on Earth to experience this type of emotion. That's why they are important. You should not say, "I'm sad. I need to get out of sadness." I hear sometimes people grieving say, "I'm grieving and I should get out of here because it's not helping me in any way." But I'm like, no, you're here to experience this. Just don't allow yourself to think you resonate with it.
Yes, to stay there.
Don't align with the idea that, oh, you are this emotion.
Right.
You should always think, okay, it's a moment. My soul needs to experience that. I'll move on as soon as I've gone through this emotion.
Yeah.
I'm not telling anybody how to grieve, but
beautiful, beautifully said.
Yeah. I can resonate with that because I think there's real danger in saying that anger and sadness and all of the emotions that were listed lowers your vibration. I think there's, I can see some listeners thinking that they're doing something wrong if they're feeling those emotions. And so I liked what you said, Séverine, in that, just don't stay there, and don't be the emotion.
Yeah.
You can feel the emotion, but don't be the emotion.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you that I don't believe that lower vibration prevents you from connecting to the spirit world. I think it's because you're I'm going to give you an example. So a young child under their blanket feeling the presence of spirit, even could feel, this is an experience that I lived, someone sitting on my bed, and I could feel the pull of the blanket toward the weight of the spirit sitting on my bed. I was very, very aware of the presence of spirit. My vibration, very low. Frightened, okay. But the keeping your vibration low will prevent you from communicating with them, because you need to vibrate at a high vibration, in this happiness and unconditional love, to be able to be aligned and for the information to resonate in you and in them. Okay. So living low vibration emotions is not what keeps you from connecting, is keeping you from communicating.
I love that. Oh my gosh, you really do put it in such wonderful terms that make it all okay. There's no right and wrong, good or bad. It's all okay. And we know that in Unity, we also talk about shadow work, which is what you were talking about before. When we are hurt and we suppress emotions, instead of dealing with them, those are the cracks, right? Where we are not a clear channel. And so, so what I wanted to say is so that we embrace all of it, because that is who we are. We're a whole package, both and. And it's really how we work at balancing that and how we work at raising our vibration. And it's more about how we live, who we be in this world. And by raising your vibration, you're obviously going to be a better person. You're going to be kinder. You're going to be gentler. You're going to be compassionate. All those kind of things.
You're going to see the love. If you're resonating with love, you're going to see love around you, and loving people will be attracted to you.
Yeah.
There's a whole virtuous cycle with resonating with higher vibration also.
Yeah.
But what I also love, I have to say, for mediumship, on top of connecting to people who are on the other side and living the truth, living the connection, is that here on Earth we're unfortunately abandoned, and because we need to feel the separation. Over there we're all one, and we need to experience by contrast. We need to remember we are part of the unity in this individualistic world, in this one and only individual body, but what I love is that I also, as I said, discover the presence of guides. And if we come here forgetting about everything, they are here, they remember, and they know, and they guide you, and they support you. They send, as I said, they can send you not only answers, but mostly support. You're doing well, you're loved, you're okay. And whether you're in a high or low vibration, it's always important to understand that you're loved, you're supported, you're special for someone, because your guides are with you all the time. And guides and angels. And I think it's a tool that a lot of people don't use. Well, I mean, most of the people don't use it, but it is sad because everybody benefits from the unconditional support and love. Some people use, religion, and they have this one God, and that's good. But where I like better the connecting with your guides is that you can receive information that are directly for you at the moment when you need it, and it's on demand. They are not above you. They are just they are the same. They are here with you, and they just want to help. They really scream at me. Tell people, they just did now. Tell them we want to help. There is no I shouldn't help. I shouldn't suck it. I should suck it up. I shouldn't. They are here to help. They're just unemployed now. And they are shouting, turn right, turn left, but they want you to listen to them, because this is how you need to.
And Mary chats is here. Thank you, Mary, for all the love. I heard this, and I can't remember where, because I read so many books and I have so many conversations, but that the guides, and some of the guides, I would not imagine not all of them, in the other realm, the energies, they admire us for choosing this experience, being human, and that some of them don't ever do that, come into this realm.
So I haven't talked to my guide about that too much, but what they told me is that, yes, Earth is a planet where you come and you fix a lot of things at once. That's why it's emotional, it's heavy, it's a lot learning by contrast. We learn unity through individual, you try to forget everything. So even obviously Earth is a planet of courageous souls, and I have only to agree with that.
Yeah, thank you.
If you want to talk about reincarnation, which I believe in, I agree.
Yeah.
There are other, and my guides told me there are other places, and some are material, just like Earth. Some are more vibrational places where you also come to increase your vibration, to raise your vibration. That is a different experience for sure. But every experience is just good. There is no mistake. There is no wrong choice.
Right. Yeah. You've got lots of fans here.
TV.
So Timmy is sharing, I had read books, attended events, and taken courses, but was blocked. Severine's mentorship has been life-changing in many ways, more than the personal mediumship I wanted. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah. Oh my gosh, incredible.
Thank you guys. Thank you very much.
Love her, and she has so many gifts. That's beautiful. So we are coming to the end of the show. So when you started bringing up reincarnation, I'm like, oh my goodness,
that's another topic.
We have to have you back. That's for sure.
I will come back if you want me. I will come back with pleasure.
Oh, well, thank you so much. Thank you for being so generous with your time. So is there anything before we actually wrap up that you would like to share or say that you haven't had a chance to, because I know that there were certain things you wanted to get out there?
I think I got it all. And I like what you said I wanted to say, I like what you said in the introduction when you talk about unities and how you have this work of healing, growth, and connection. And I agree with you. It's totally the same as our work as mediums, like trying to provide healing and spiritual and human growth through the connection with the other side. So
absolutely. Yeah. What about
I want to ask what these guides are like. Are they like,
sure,
I think in terms of people, right? So I have this vision of a person, but go ahead. I'm going to stop now so you can.
So guides are people who have lived in another life on Earth, or I've lived through a material world. That's why they come with you, because you forget about everything. So they need to have some qualities to bring to you, because they say, oh, Severine, you're 15, you're going to have to develop your mediumship now. Most likely my mediumship guide didn't show up before I was 15. And I was like, okay, I'm going to put her into a certain situation so that she starts her mediumship journey. And on my mediumship journey, help me, and you may be the one who answered my question about why we're here, etc. So this is every aspect of your life and personality. You have a spirit guide. It's not always the same that are with you at all times. I have to say, you maybe have one or two that are with you at all times, just like your guardian angels, because maybe they're here for something that goes across your life, okay? But most of the time, they just exchange, the leader seat. They stay on the back, and someone else is going to come and push you in the back one way or another, give you courage and confidence, by example. Answer questions. At some point in my mediumship, I was like, my God, I've done the work, I've did everything, and I still go back to these places, and I don't understand. I did my gratitude prayers, and I switch on the radio in my car. At the moment I go into my car, the radio says, in life, you have to be grateful for everything you're given, but also everything you're taken away. And as I realized that my guides had just answered my question, I said, okay, guides, tonight I'm going to be grateful for everything, including what I lost. Because I was feeling I had lost something in my mediumship. They were just saying, everything is meant for you.
Mhm.
So if you lost it, and I realized later, I lost certain abilities to grow others. So this is, so if I go just an extra step, because my belief is that all these guides are actually past or future version of future lives of yours. These are people you've been in the past, or you're currently.
Okay, now we're going into a whole other realm.
Wow.
I agree it's another topic, but I wanted to add that because a lot of people think, I hope my mediumship guide is going to help me. I hope my mediumship. But when you understand that the mediumship guide is just you, maybe in a past life you were a shaman or a priestess. You understand it's you, and you understand that it's all in you. All that you give, all the power you give to your guides, you have that in you. So,
well, we're definitely going to have you back. There's no doubt about that. We are so grateful for your being here. What an inspiring and just wonderful conversation this has been. Thank you, Severine, and thank you for your openness, for your wisdom, and your willingness to share this journey with us. And to what you're leaving us with, I think, is more curiosity than we had when we came, which is a wonderful place to leave, right? Because that leaves opportunities for more. And I want to thank our viewers for joining us today. Be sure to tune in next week, and we'll be exploring, I can't remember what. Deja, do you know? Anyway, Deja might put that in the chat. But until then, please like, share, and subscribe so that others can find and join these meaningful conversations too. And from all of us here, thank you. And remember, keep having courageous conversations.
Absolutely, Cheryl. Thank you. You said about curiosity, and that was my closing, in that what I want people to know or to take away is to be open and curious. And our guest next week is Jules. Thank you, Timmy, for letting us know about Severine. And Severine, I look forward to having you back again with us.
Me too, me too.
Yeah, thank you so much. And again, thank you everyone for joining us. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye for now.
Please help us say thank you to our organizational sponsors, including the Hepperlin Foundation, Affiliated New Thought Network, International New Thought Alliance, Science of Mind Archives and Library Foundation, Center for Spiritual Living Denver, Center for Spiritual Living Midtown, New Thought Philadelphia, Planned Happiness Institute, Summit Center for Spiritual Living, One Heart Retreats, Center for Spiritual Living on the Lake, Unity Spiritual Center, Kitchener, Om Center for Spiritual Living, La Mesa, Satya Center, Center for Spiritual Living, North Jersey, Unity of Savannah, and Center for Spiritual Living, Seattle, as well as all of our individual donors. Thank you for making New Thought Media Network a place to be. Please come be you. And remember, like, share, and subscribe. New Thought Media Network, positively inspiring.